This is a Charles Smith mechanism. This is instruction video for people who are going to be using this now and in the future. We're working on the south or the middle wall right now. It has one more piece of complexity to it. It's the pilot door, and I'm going to show you how to operate it and just routine type operating procedures. First thing that I really want to emphasize for this whole thing is it's incredibly easy to move. There's nothing in here that you should ever want to force, push, pull to the point where it feels like you're straining. Everything's very easy. So to begin with, this is the mechanism when it's in its closed position. Both the pilot door and the big door are locked via this big slide bolt. The first thing to do prior to operating the middle wall here is to actually unlock the big door while locking the pilot door. This handle throws the bolt, and this way it locks the pilot door and unlocks the big door. Middle position, it locks both. Last position, it unlocks the pilot door. It gives you the ability to move that. So to operate the big wall, we're going to just lock the pilot door. Make sure that the handle is rotated down. It really pushes the pilot door in, locks it in place, also prevents it from slipping when it's up. The next step is to unlock the mechanism itself. This bolt holds kind of sticky. There we go. Padlock, place it anywhere, just don't lose it. The mechanism has to be engaged in order for the wall to be used. Pushing down will allow you to raise the wall. Pushing up will allow you to lower the wall. You let go of it, the pendulum will swing the ratchets to engage the teeth. This will prevent any over travel if someone's not watching it or paying attention. When the pendulum is in its locked position, both these pawls cannot be moved, and therefore it locks out the wall. So we're going to open the wall. So I'm going to push down. Right now is a fairly common issue with ratchets and pawls, and that is this pawl is actually engaged on this tooth. So anytime that happens, you just wiggle the hand wheel in the opposite direction, and it allows you free movement on the pawls. So now we push down to operate, and we crank the wheel counterclockwise. At the beginning, you're going to feel a little resistance, and that's the brush seals disengaging. And all of this is effortless. It's a couple of pounds at the hand wheel. If you ever feel anything larger than that, feels like something's jammed, don't try to force it. The other thing too is this isn't a race. Each wall weighs about 3 tons, so going nice and slow is really appropriate. Don't ever try and overspeed the mechanism. It's just, you have to be very careful when you're operating something of this size. So now the wall is up, and you can see it's horizontal. At this point, you can put the padlock back on, and it will keep anyone from actually operating the mechanism while it's in its open position. So during normal business hours, padlock's back on, locks out the mechanism. So now it's up, and in order to go down, we push up on the lever, and we rotate the hand wheel clockwise. And remember, if someone's not paying attention, all they have to do is let go of the hand wheel. The ratchets will re-engage, it'll jam the mechanism. Don't do that, don't walk away, always try and keep things in control. See right now, there we go. Now the mechanism is back. Always keep things in control, just keep your hand on the wheel and you'll be fine. hear the seals re-engaging there. Now the mechanism in its lock position should be able to re-engage the bolt. Now the bolt is locking the big door, but it has the pilot door unlocked. You can operate the pilot door. It's very important that you always make sure that this is engaged prior to the wall opening. First of all, it really changes the balance of the wall if you were to try and open up the big door with the pilot door open. Everything's really finely balanced, so always make sure that that door is locked and engaged. Now, we've closed it for the night. Come back with the padlock. Padlock's in. Pull the key and you're done. Now the mechanism's locked out. No one can operate it. Seals are all engaged. You're done. So, like I said before, the two most important things in my opinion are don't force anything, don't over push anything. The primary reason is, especially at the hand wheel, your force is magnified within the gearbox here by the time it gets out to the drive sprocket. And so what will happen is you might only be pushing 20-30 pounds. You're actually pushing or pulling 400 or 500 pounds. And everything's heavy steel, but you can still hurt something if you really push. So everything should just be nice light touch. Always wiggle the wheel if the ratchets aren't totally engaged. Wiggle the wheel, you'll see the pendulum drop down. You'll be ready to go. You can push up, pull down. That's it. Hope you enjoy it.